What's going on, guys? Welcome to That Movie Guy. My name is Matt, and today we're going to be talking about this past weekend's box office results, which was the weekend of January 5th. And we did have one new wide-release film put into theaters, and that is Insidious: The Last Key. Now, this weekend has been a little bit surprising in the sense of what was ranked where. Not a lot of people would have gotten a 5 out of 5 for this past weekend. I got 2 out of 5, so I'm going to give you what my predictions were from this past Friday, and then I'm going to give you the actual results. That way you can see which ones I got right, which ones I got wrong, all that good stuff. So, my predictions were as follows. Number 1 was Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Number 2 was Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. Number 3 was Insidious: The Last Key. Number 4 was The Greatest Showman. And number 5 was Pitch Perfect 3. Now, the actual box office results were number 1, Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, making $36 million. Number 2 was a surprise, I think, to most people, Insidious: The Last Key, making about $29 million. Number 3 was Star Wars: The Last Jedi being dethroned, making $23 million. Number 4 was The Greatest Showman, making $13 million. And number 5 was Pitch Perfect 3, making $10 million. Now, there are a couple things that really do surprise me from this past weekend's box office. One being Jumanji only dropping 28%. That just proves that there are people loving this film, enjoying it, having a great time, because they keep going back to see it multiple times. The fact that it's made $244 million at this point is fantastic. If you work over at Sony or anything, you have to be ecstatic, because a few months ago I would have said it would have probably made 150 at the most. But you have nostalgia mixed in, and you have The Rock and Kevin Hart in this film, which is going to bring you some money at least. But even that, I would have figured, okay, if this movie really is as bad as what I think it's going to be, it's going to have a huge drop and it's just going to be forgotten from this past weekend. But no, it only dropped 28%. People are having a good time. I had a good time watching this film. I almost want to go see it again because I want to have a lot of fun again, and this movie is going to bring that. You have Jack Black, who's fantastic in the film, so I think that definitely helped it right there. It just surprised me it had that low of a drop. Another thing that really does surprise me is Insidious: The Last Key being at number 2 and making $29 million. To me, I was thinking more like 19-20 million, but the fact that it almost made $30 million is something that, you know, Universal is dancing, jumping up and down for, and just celebrating. They're going to have some parties because it's made its money back, and it's just going to make more money for them. I do think it's going to have a big drop next weekend because of the word of mouth, but the word of mouth definitely did not affect it this past weekend, so if it ends up being like 3, that won't surprise me at all. Another big surprise to me is The Greatest Showman only dropping 11%. 11%, that is fantastic for them. Fox has to be happy because it's bringing the money in. I bet they were thinking it would have made a lot less, but it's a good movie. People are enjoying this film. It might be a little messy, but the music is really good and really catchy. You have Hugh Jackman, who's great in the film. I mean, there's a lot to enjoy in this movie, but I did not think it was only going to drop 11%. I was thinking like 40 to 50%. But no, it only dropped 11%. That doesn't happen very often unless it's like really low. So, I mean, if you're over at Fox, you have to be ecstatic at this point. And then I guess as one last surprise that I saw in the box office was The Last Jedi dropping from number 1 to number 3. I thought the lowest it would be is number 2. I thought it was going to be number 1 for sure, making about as much as what Jumanji made in its second weekend. But you know what? It is what it is. It's not that big of a surprise, I guess, because, you know, 50-55% at this point when you got competition like Jumanji and The Greatest Showman and now Insidious and stuff, yeah, you know, I guess it's not that big of a deal. As far as the drop goes, it's still made $572 million so far at the domestic box office, which is one of the highest grossing, I believe, of all time. I could be wrong with that, but it will definitely be like a top 5, top 3 highest domestic grossing box office films. And if it doesn't pass Avatar, that's fine in domestic. You know, it's going to be top 10 all time worldwide. So it's a success. Disney's got to be happy with it. Pitch Perfect landed where I thought it was going to land. So there's not really much of a surprise there. So there you go. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and you'll see more of these box office things coming up, and also movie reviews. yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I've been Matt, and I will see you next time.